Okay, first thing I'm going to say, the people who leave their kids in Nigeria and travel abroad, you guys have strong mind. The parents who do that, you have strong mind, okay? Guys, for me personally, I don't advise for both parents to be abroad and leave the kids with their, I don't know, grandma, grand uncle, brother, sister. I don't advise that. Like, today video is going to be one where it's going to be, I don't know, I feel like it's going to be an educating and also a personal video, and I feel like it's a topic that I need to talk about and just sharing my own personal experience. But before we go into that, please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, my name is Omo. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I am a Nigerian girl. I've been living in the United States for going to close to 7 to 8 years now, and I love to create videos surrounding my experience and things like that. But without any further ado, let's just get right into the video. Okay, so the topic for this video is basically me talking about people, I don't want to say people, just individuals, parents who leave their kids in Nigeria while they travel abroad. Guys, I scripted out this video a lot here, and I'm going to be looking down. So the topic is leaving your kids in Nigeria to travel abroad. I'm going to be sharing my story, lesson learned, some pros and cons with all this stuff as a survivor of that same experience. Okay, so quick background. So basically, I lived without my parents for about 3 years without my mom and dad being there. I was in Nigeria. I was still very young. I don't even think I was like 10 to 13. My twin sisters were also with me. I was in boarding school, and I usually come home back and forth sometimes. But my parents were in the US with the rest of my siblings, my younger siblings. Yeah, I'm going to be sharing my experience on this because I know I've seen people who travel abroad and they leave their kids back home in Nigeria. This is something that I'm still trying to wrap my head around. Parents who do that, I want to know their thinking process behind all this stuff. Even I try to understand, but your own child, another continent. But sure, let's just keep on going. So I live there with my family members, but let's talk about why people leave their kids back home in Nigeria and travel abroad. Now, people get visas and they get, the ability to travel to the United States, families, but they leave their kids in Nigeria and move abroad. Now, first and foremost, most people often do this because they want to settle down. They want to settle down in the US or whatever country they are immigrating to. They want to settle down. They want to understand the whole system. They want to organize all those type of stuff, which is totally understandable because if you are coming in with a lot of kids, and also it might be a lot, but there's also some cons to that we have to examine as well. So financial reasons, okay? For financial reasons, they have to immigrate, so they move abroad, they leave their kids. Also to prevent them from, being in a very stressful situation. They might not be able to predict the future because they don't know what their abroad life might throw at them. So they're like, okay, let me just leave the kids here in Nigeria and let me travel abroad. Another thing is some people just fear to have their kids be in Nigeria and experience the Nigerian education system while both parents might be abroad, or one parent is behind, the other one is abroad, right? And they want their kids to have, receive the education system back in Nigeria. My parents wanted me to finish secondary school in Nigeria, because this Nigerian education system is really hands-on, very disciplinary, all those type of stuff. So there are various reasons as to why people decide to leave their kids abroad and the parents immigrate alone. But let's also talk about situations. There are different situations to this scenario. We can have two parents immigrate abroad and they leave their younger kids with, I don't know, their grandma, their family member. Then we also have situations whereby one parent is staying back in Nigeria with the child, then the other one travel abroad. We have situations where both parents travel abroad, the kids are with their family members, but the parents come back and forth to visit their kids. There are various scenarios. I see a lot of Nigerian in school. I see them in different places, and everyone have their own different situation whereby, you know, parents are back home, the kids are abroad, and there are also situation whereby the kids and the parents, everyone is all in one destination. But my focus is on those people who leave their kids, or families who leave their kids in Nigeria and travel abroad. First and foremost, the people who you are leaving your kids behind is very important. Very important. I know it is not easy. Like, I would not advise, for me personally, I don't advise for both parents to be abroad and leave the kids with their, I don't know, grandma, grand uncle, brother, sister. I don't advise that. Like, to me, it's just like, especially if you are going to be in the US. I'm saying the US because I'm in the US, but if you are going to be in that country for a long period of time, please, two parents should not just be abroad and leave those kids back home in Nigeria. Yeah, don't do that. Okay. Don't do it. If one parent is going to stay and be with the kids, that is totally understandable, but that one to also come with its own cons, okay, as well. I don't know. I just want people who do that, just know you are taking a risk while you are doing this, because it's a risk, it's a big risk. Leaving your kids in another country while you are in another country, either both parents or one parent, you are in another country, because you cannot predict the future. You cannot predict what kind of impact that might have on your child. Also, the age of the kids you are leaving back home is also very important. If you are leaving kids who are like almost approaching their teenage years, or in between 10, 13, 14, 9, 8, 7 to when they are 15 or so, you are leaving them back home and you are in the abroad, please check it very well, okay? Please plan it out very well, okay? I'm just going to talk about some of the pros and cons regarding this issue. First one is a pro. Let's talk about the positive things that you can get. So first one is you are building your child independence. Like kids who you leave back home, maybe they are between 8, 13, type of age. Yeah, you are building their independence, because now their parents are not there. They have to be more autonomous. They have to be much more independent in doing things. They have to be taking steps. They have to be taking, because their parents are not there with them to do it. So the guardian that they have with them, I don't know, if you are leaving please make sure you are leaving your kids with good people. Like people especially if it's in Nigeria. I don't know if you can trust people, but I know that you cannot trust anybody more than your parents. I feel like if you have good parents, like your only trust to be on those parents. So if you know that you're going to be leaving that kid back home, make sure the people you are leaving those kids with, you can trust them 100% with your full chest, because you will destroy person life. Okay, so you can build that child independence and things like that. Yes, that's very true. You are also growing them in a culture that values discipline, that values respect. They are going through the Nigerian education system and things like that. Yes, you're putting them in a very disciplined and type of culture in comparison to the American way of life, which are some positives I feel that the child could get when you leave them back home. Now, going to the cons, first and foremost, the safety of your children. If you are leaving your kids back home with, I don't know, family people, with I'm trying not to keep a lot of stuff. With family people, you are leaving them with their grandmother, with their grandfather, and all those type of stuff in Nigeria. I feel like safety, there's not going to be because all these other extended family, they have their own life to live. They have their own kids. Do you think they are going to be giving that one-on-one parental attention to your own child, who is not even their biological child? Really? So safety of the child, like, to me, I'm just like, for me, I'm like, please carry your child along. As long as you don't have plenty children, 1 or 2. if you can, carry them along. Okay, if you're going to leave one parent behind with a child, that might be understandable. That one is understandable. But two parents abroad and the kid, you're leaving the children back home. I don't know what to say. You guys should share your thoughts, because I want to hear from people who went through that same experience, because I went through it. Another thing is, if you are leaving female children back home, teenagers, 9, 10, 13 years old, and both of their parents are abroad, or it's just their dad, or their dad is back home with them and things like that. Like, when kids are growing into their adolescent years, there's a lot of things that they are going through. There's a lot of things you have to educate them about, especially female kids, female children. And if there's no parents there, trust me, they are going to be getting information from the wrong source. There's a lot of things they want to express. Is it through phone? They will be, oh God. Just pray you leave your kids with good people that will be giving them access to phones and FaceTime and all those stuff to be communicating with you. Female kids, they need their mother, like, especially in a country like Nigeria. Leaving young teenagers with grandma, grandpa, like, family, sister, this and this, like, the safeness of that child might not be 100% guaranteed, to be very honest. Their parents are not going to be there. Where do you think? Is it their grandmother, those their older parents, or people that their extended family? Is it those people that are going to be opening up to? I open up to my parents more, like my mom and my dad. Those are the people like I could tell them anything in comparison to people who are like more of extended family and things like that. Now imagine leaving your young teenager, your child that is never up to their teen years, leaving them back home with extended family. I mean, let's say the father is back home and the wife is in the abroad, is in the US or whatever country. The father is back home and the child is living with the father back home, and that child is a female child. Good if you have parents, or if you have a dad who is into all, who can educate their female child. But I don't think it's going to be as valuable from the communication they're going to be having from their mother, specifically for female child. Okay, so I don't know, that's just what I feel. This topic is a really, really dicey topic. I really want to hear from you guys. Yeah, emotional care, if that child is not having, because I know when I was in Nigeria, I was missing my parents a lot, only communicating via phones and all this type of stuff. So imagine if you're not living younger kids. Please evaluate those type of stuff, okay? Evaluate it very, very well. You have to train your mindset beyond the traditional way of thinking, especially if you're in Nigeria. I don't want to go deep into a lot of things. Also, if you have kids who are like very, very quiet and you are leaving them back home in Nigeria and you are abroad, that is something also you need to examine, because quiet children that don't talk a lot are in risk of several things, okay? Please examine that as well. Internet, phone calls, depending on your financial situation. If your family, if you are leaving your child back home and they have access to the internet, they have access to FaceTime, and I mean, we're in the digital age now, but in my own time, I didn't have all this social media thing were not like that prevalent and things like that. So educate, like, they should be able to make phone calls, have those things intact. But not everyone might have those things intact. You just be communicating with your parents through the person you left them with back home. Please plan all those type of things out. Also, the parents abroad, you begin to have so much worry. You are worried, thinking about, oh God, your mind is not going to be fully at peace. Even my mom told me, oh gosh, sometimes she gets so worried, and things like that. But everyone's situation is kind of different. But the only thing I would say, just to sum this up, is do not leave if you're a parent abroad and you leave your kids back home. I don't care if you're leaving them with one parent. I feel like that child is entitled to have both parents with them. Don't like begin to live in the US for close to 8, 10 years, 7 years, and you leave your kids back home. Do what you have to do first and bring that child with you, because there's nothing more important than responsible parents taking care of their children. It's very, very, very important, because you don't want to begin to like cause trauma for your child, that when the child grows up, they begin to question you on a lot of things. examine those things very well. Like I don't understand from the parent's shoe, but from a child who went through that same thing. Yeah, everyone's situation is different, and trying to understand, it's not easy, right? But it's not easy. You can leave your child back home in Nigeria for 1 year with a parent, but you have to come back, like carry those children within a year, and bring them and to stay along with you if you are financially stable enough to do it. But this really depends, because you might be in the abroad for 3 years and you are still not financially stable. So I don't know, I just feel like this is a topic that needs to be talked about more, and especially the rate at which people are immigrating from Nigeria is really, really high. I just wanted to talk about this. I really hope that this video was kind of like beneficial, interesting, or you guys just, I don't know, I wanted to talk about this topic because I really want to hear specifically from parents who left their kids. Did they regret it? For how many years do you leave your kids back home? I want to hear from you guys, specifically from Nigerian parents, because I'm talking specifically from Nigerians. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, thumbs up this video, and I'll see you guys in my future video. This topic was very dicey to talk about. Low-key.